I was awoken to the sounds of Argo's diesel engines roaring to life, and I quickly hopped out of my bunk to catch a stunning sunrise over the Great Barrier Reef. Within a few hours, we were on the outer reaches of the Great Barrier Reef and ready to get wet.
Nothing. It's just like a lake. You could have a party out here. Which is what we're doing. That's why we're having a party.
Was anyone excited? Let's check in with the trip participants.
Jeff and Pamela in the excitement factor. How's it going?
It's going great. Can't wait to get in that blue water today.
Jeff, you feeling good?
I'm feeling it.
All right, let's go.
The snorkelers broke off with Laura, and I headed out with the divers and the head of Cairns Marine, Lyle Squires. As I kicked away from the boat, I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. Here I was on the Great Barrier Reef on a private yacht surrounded by fellow reef junkies. Okay, Great Barrier Reef, show me what you got. Ooh, this is nice. So is this. Yep, that one's awesome. Here's a little ice fire to satisfy you SPS heads. One thing about diving is that you lose your sense of scale. For example, this looks like a sizable table coral, right? Well, the diver just beyond the coral is 6 feet tall. That makes this piece bigger than 6 feet across. Gulp. Here's a nice little tunicate, and this clam caught my eye as well. The highlight of the first dive, this big piece of blue stag. It was huge. Before I knew it, it was safety stop time, and as I kicked back to the boat, all I could say was, yeah. During our service interval, it was time for a little fun off the top deck. After lunch, back in the water to dive a completely different section of the reef. See, on the Great Barrier Reef, you can go out to one reef and see many different types of reefs inside that reef. Out there is a drop-off where Nemo went. Big animals out there. Here's the reef top. Much different coral that I'll show you in a minute. Over here, that's where we were headed. This canary bunny immediately came out to say hi. Good day, mate. And look, I found Nemo. Wrong species, but hey, it was a clownfish and a cluster of sea anemones. Awesome. Ack! Pulsing xenia. No! This large sea cucumber didn't pay me any mind. I'm calling him Lurch. These damselfish must have known I don't like them because they were clearly nestled away into their home. Another nice stag piece and some more ice fire. But wait, what is that? Maybe a harita? I don't know, but I'm coming back for a frag of that. Look at that polyp extension. Then to the drop-off, of course with some neat visuals along the way. Hey look, a shark. Those are cool, and they could care less that we were there. Oh dang, low air again, so back to Argo. After a snack, time for a snorkel. We snorkeled the reef top and immediately noticed that the corals are much different up here. No big tables and no big branching stags either. Why? Partly because there is so much energy up here from the waves. Large tables and big branching corals would get smashed to bits. Instead, it's all corals with tight growth patterns. Notice how short and chunky everything is. If you've ever kept a coral like these, you'll know how very hard it is to frag them because they're so thick and strong. That doesn't mean there weren't some gems up here. Here's a nice colony of strawberry shortcake in the wild. And how about this oddball gem of a coral? Of everything that I saw on the snorkel, the clown tangs really stole the show. Usually these guys are spread out on the reef and don't want too much to do with one another. However, these guys were all bunched together and full of spunk. Maybe because it was breeding season. I definitely won't forget these guys. Now that we had a day of scouting underneath our weight belts, it was time to collect some fish and coral. A quick word about the fish and coral collection you're about to see. All collection is done with a licensed collector under strict government regulations. The Great Barrier Reef fishery is currently the best managed fishery in the world. Between the amount of data on the state of the Great Barrier Reef, the collaboration between the government and the divers, the willingness of the collectors to shut down a reef if they feel like it's under stress, and the small amount of areas where you can actually collect fish and coral on the Great Barrier Reef, It's proven that the Great Barrier Reef fishery is sustainable, which is part of the reason why I take people out there to see it and understand it. Lyle showed us how it was done. First, find the fish you're looking for, observe their habitat, and then up goes the barrier net. And with the gentlest of touch, you capture the fish with your hand. Yes, hand caught the Aussie way. Nice catch. Next, onto the coral. Back to that Harita type piece I found. Had to grab some frags from that. I needed a piece of ice fire as well. Check. This one is nice. One frag of that too. Keep in mind, everything you saw just happened in 20 minutes because I blew away my whole tank that fast. Why? Because hauling a bucket with a dive weight in it is harder than you think. You got the fish, you got the coral. Never forget that. As day one in the Great Barrier Reef came to a close, we feasted on the meal that Dean, the chef on board, prepared for us. Woof! As the sun went down, the lights came on and we enjoyed the dance of fish on the surface as we shared memories from the day. Day 2 on the Great Barrier Reef, and I wanted to show trip participants a reef in recovery. So we pulled up anchor and headed to another section of the Great Barrier Reef. Feeling the need to soak up some nitrogen, on went the tanks and off the back of the boat we went. There was some bleaching here and some recovery as well. And of course, plenty of marine life around. Before I knew it, it was time to head to port and no one wanted to leave. On the way back, we relaxed, took pictures, and soaked up as much sun as we could. The table lands and even more memories would be waiting for us tomorrow.